Okay, I would like to introduce Cornelius, who's going to give us his presentation on global warming. And he's got a great slideshow to go with it. Everybody's attention, Cornelius.
Global warming. One of the biggest problems facing today's world is global warming. Many scientists believe that our production of carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases is having a heating effect on the atmosphere. And this could be very dangerous for human life. This slideshow will examine some facts of global warming. Why does this keep happening? What is global warming? It's a gratitude increase in overall temperature of the Earth's atmosphere, usually credited to the greenhouse effect caused by increased levels of CO2 and other chemicals. Warming of the climate system is simple, and scientists are more than 90% certain that it's primarily caused by increasing concentration of greenhouse gases produced by human activity. When did it start? No one knows the exact date, but they say it started about 18,000 years ago.
Wow.
Way before the Industrial Revolution. Climate change is the biggest single environmental and humanitarian crisis of our time. The Earth's atmosphere is overloaded with heat-trapping carbon dioxide, which threatens large-scale interference in climate with tragic consequences. We must act now to spur the adoption of cleaner energy sources at home and abroad. Climate is the average pattern of weather over the long term. The Earth's climate is warm and cooler for millions of years, way before we appeared on Earth. There is no doubt that climate is growing warmer currently. Indications that climate are all around us, that change is all around us. Here goes 11 facts about global warming. Global warming is the increase in Earth's average surface temperature due to greenhouse gases, such as CO2 emission from burning fossil fuel, which trap heat that would otherwise escape the Earth. Nonetheless, CO2 is frequently mentioned as the principal driver of global warming because human activity, mostly the burning of fossil fuels like coal and oil, has released unique amount of CO2 into the atmosphere. Fact 2. With the start of industrials in the 1700s, human beings emitting more fossil fuel from coal, oil, and gas to run our cars, trucks, and factories. By driving a smart car, you can not only save on gas, but help prevent global warming. Greenhouse gases keep heat close to the Earth's surface, making it livable for humans and animals. The atmospheric gas mostly responsible for the greenhouse effect are known as greenhouse gases, which include water vapors and CO2. Not all greenhouse gases are the same. For example, methane is roughly 21 times, it has 21 times the heating trapping ability of CO2 than greenhouse gas. There are more carbon dioxide in the atmosphere today than any point in the last 800,000 years. Before the Industrial Revolution, the amount of atmospheric CO2 was about 280 parts per million. But since the late 1700s, CO2 levels had increasingly steady. Beginning in the year 2000, the rate has been about 1.9 parts per million. The shifting of the Earth's planets in the Atlantic Oceans on December 26, 2004 caused a rupture more than 600 miles long, displacing the Earth's floor, the sea's floor, and ruptured by perhaps 10 yards horizontally and several yards vertically. As a result, trillions of tons of rocks were moved along hundreds of miles and caused the planet to struggle with the largest magnitude earthquake in 40 years. A stronger greenhouse effect will warm the oceans and somewhat melt glaciers and other ice, increasing sea level. Ocean water will also expand if it warms, contributing to further the sea level rise. The National Resource Defense Council proposed the Clean Air Act to cut power emissions by 26% in the next 7 years. The Clean Air Act in the United States federal law designed to control air pollution on a national level. It requires the Environmental Protection Agency to develop and enforce regulations to protect the public from airborne contamination, known to be hazardous to human health. In the last century, sea level rose 7 inches after not having changed noticeably in the previous 2,000 years. Sea level rise are an effect of global warming and have put many states at risk of existing in the near future. Sea level is one of the several lines of evidence that support the view that the climate is recently warming. The global community of climate scientists confirmed that it is very likely that human-introduced anthropogenic warming contributed to the sea levels rise observed in the late half of the 20th century. Back 8. Consequences of global warming introduced drought, severe hurricanes, massive fire, and melting of the ice polar caps. In addition to potential environmental changes, the human health implications of increased global warming are very concerning. We are also witnessing a renewal spread of diseases, likely to increase if temperature continues to rise, including a spread of illness that was formerly limited only to tropical areas. Heat waves caused by global warming present greater risk of heat-related illness and death, most frequently among patients with diabetes who are elderly and very young. When it comes to connecting the dots between climate change, extreme weather, and health, the lines are clear. The Earth is saying something with record heat, drought, storms, and fires. Scientists are telling us that this is what global warming looks like. According to the U.S. Global Change Research Program, the temperature in the U.S. has increased 2 degrees in the last 50 years, and precipitation by 5%. Climate change increased the risk of many types of record-breaking extreme weather events that threaten communities across the country. In 2012, record-breaking extreme events occurred in each of the 50 states. We saw the hottest March on record in the neighboring U.S., and July was the hottest single month ever recorded in those lower 48 states. Global warming put coral reef in danger as warmer water increased the possibility of coral disease and the rising sea levels, making it more difficult for coral to receive adequate sunlight. The diseases affecting coral reefs has increased in frequency and recklessly. in recent decades. These diseases, combined with existing human introduced impacts on coral reefs to compose their health. In conclusion, if we make small changes now in the way we live, we can avoid huge changes in the future. Scientists, governments, and individuals must work together to overcome this threat.
Yeah, that was great. You really did a wonderful job.
Yeah, 'cause you did it right.